This situation keeps getting crazier as we have multiple New York Knicks updates in regards to their head coaching search, as the NBA draft is just 2 days away, marking the official beginning of the NBA offseason, and the Knicks are the only team without a head coach while new names are coming out, and also we are finding some of the favorites that Leon Rose has marked down for this Knicks team as they search for their next head coach, the guy who they hope will be coaching them to an NBA Finals, as they have the second best odds to win the championship next season. And we're going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as usual. If you guys are part of that 71% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily New York Knicks updates. We have videos all day, every day this off season. You do not want to miss out. We also got some TikToks and YouTube shorts that are coming back out. Took a little break from those, but we are going to start that back up again as well and have some fun with those. But let's jump into it, because the Knicks, this head coaching search is getting really, really interesting. We know they're casting a wide net. We know that Leon Rose is doing that, and we know that a lot of names have been floated around throughout this time. And there's been a lot to go on right now. I mean, we know that the interviews have begun. The Knicks have interviewed a few people already, one of them being Mike Brown, the other one being Taylor Jenkins. But on top of that, there's a lot more interviews to come. There's a lot more teams that are going to get contacted by the Knicks in regards to assistant coaches who they would like to interview. And we also have an update on that, on top of the fact that also the man who it feels like the rumors are never going away, Jason Kidd, the noise is back, and there is some good reasoning why things are getting very real with this situation. As we know, the Knicks, they were always going to circle back to Jason Kidd eventually, and it seems like that time is about to come as well. We saw a huge update from Knicks insider James Edwards, who mentioned in regards to the whole coaching search, the process reached a new stage last week when New York held interviews with former Memphis Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins and former Sacramento Kings head coach Mike Brown. Both candidates interviewed over multiple days and were impressive. So on top of that, we saw that Jenkins and Brown appear to be the frontrunners for now. However, New York has also talked around the idea of speaking with James Borrego for its vacancy, according to league sources. Borrego, a CIA client, is known around the league for his offensive creativity and analytics-forward approach. Borrego spent last season as an assistant coach on Willie Green's staff in New Orleans and was last hired as a head coach for the Charlotte Hornets in 2018 when he was there for 4 years. His record in those 4 seasons doesn't pop off the screen, but Borrego led the struggling franchise to a 43-win season just before he was let go. Charlotte has won 40-plus games during the regular season just 4 times since 2005, which includes Borrego's final year in charge. Now, we will get into James Borrego in a second, and obviously back to Jason Kidd in a moment. But in regards to Mike Brown, in regards to Taylor Jenkins, I think it's fair to assume that these guys are the two frontrunners for the job. Being that they were the first two interviewed definitely shows a sign the Knicks were interested in them. But also, they're the easiest guys to interview because they don't have jobs right now in the NBA. So it's not a complicated process. You just call, you set up the date, and you do the interview. And both these guys came in for multiple days for their interviews. So the Knicks are being very, very meticulous about this, which I absolutely love for this team. Now, in regards to these two guys, in Jenkins, in Brown, it's interesting because Mike Brown does coach a style that benefits Jalen Brunson a ton. It's a very offensive style with a lot of ball movement, so Brunson won't have to carry the entire offense, but it would require them to use more ball handlers, so Tyler Kolek would likely find himself off the bench with this Knicks team, and they also could pursue other ball handlers as well. I do have a video coming out on that in regards to 2 guys specifically, but we'll have that come out when that comes out. So, in regards to all of this, what we're seeing right now is Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins be huge options. I prefer Taylor Jenkins as an option. I think he's a guy who makes more on-the-fly adjustments, which I like, and on top of that, he's been a good coach. He was a very well-respected coach with Memphis, and it felt like the reason he got fired was John Morant. He kind of lost him, and the Grizzlies sided with their franchise player over their coach, which I think most teams would do in that situation, which honestly is kind of fair. John Morants don't come around all the time. He's a very talented player, so you don't really want to move him, and he still might end up getting moved in the near future, but they did go with Morant over Taylor Jenkins for this part. And we look back to James Borrego, who is 138 and 163 with the Hornets in his coaching career. So yeah, the record doesn't pop off the screen, and you start to wonder, why would the Knicks be interested in a guy in Borrego who had a losing record and last coached with the New Orleans Pelicans, who were just an absolute nightmare? Well, here's the thing. Borrego is also just, the analytics, the youth, the offensive style is all things that we love and we know the Knicks love. One of the things about Thibodeau is he did not coach offense at all, and he needed someone to coach offense for the team to really be at their best, and they didn't have that. Borrego would give a team that clearly benefits on offense, having your two best players be Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. They get an offensive style. Borrego trusts ball movement, and his teams did have good rapport, despite the fact that at the end of the day, it's not like he was coaching a good Charlotte Hornets team. You look at the Hornets, that team was bad. It's not Borrego's fault they weren't good. Like, oh, what was he going to have Tony Parker in year 18 take them somewhere? No, it was never going to work because the team sucked. The front office was terrible. The ownership and Michael Jordan was awful. Like, nothing was good for this Hornets team. It wasn't all on Borrego, who did get a lot out of a lineup that was not good. So with this all sort of being what it is, I do like the idea of Borrego. And as Knicks Muse mentioned, look, the coach who just won the NBA Finals is a young, analytically driven head coach who just, won the finals and has been a coach of the year already. I think that the Knicks should follow that path. Go with the analytics. We know that Leon Rose and the Knicks have the largest analytics department of all 30 NBA teams. So they can use that, and Borrego fits right in like a glove. He's younger. He's 47 years old, and I just love the fit for James Borrego. I understand why people are going to be weary because the Hornets weren't good, because the Pelicans weren't good. He's not coming from the best teams. But let's not forget, this man comes straight from the Greg Popovich tree of it all. So he had 3 years under Coach Pops, and usually that does benefit you. And, I mean, honestly, when we're talking about the Popovich tree, Taylor Jenkins also comes from it. Also started with the Spurs. But Borrego is someone who I think is a great fit for this team. I'm not surprised the Knicks were going after him. It always felt like they would. Now, I do, if I'm being honest, I like Borrego better than Mike Brown, and I like him better than Jason Kidd. I personally prefer Borrego over both of these guys. And as Ime Udoka Sidechick said, James Borrego's offenses in Charlotte were top 10 in the NBA for ball movement, pace, and three-point attempts. Even without a superstar, he built a system around sharing the ball, attacking early, and getting open looks. Something Knicks fans have wanted to see more of at MSG. What were the Knicks' problems on their offense? They didn't take enough threes, despite having a team that should have been shooting a ton of threes. They didn't move the ball enough, despite the fact that they had a bunch of good scorers on the roster. And on top of that, it felt like they did not attack early enough. Borrego fixes all those issues. I think James Borrego would be an excellent hire for the Knicks. Now, on top of that, we have to just look at the odds for a second, because the odds tell an interesting story here. Right now, Mike Brown is the favorite at plus 120. Taylor Jenkins is second at plus 175. Johnny Bryant is plus 400. Mike Malone is right in there as well. And James Borrego is plus 2,200 for the job. I'm telling you right now, as someone who likes to throw a bet here and there, if you were in a state where you can bet this, bet James Borrego. I'm not saying he's the favorite. He's not. I wouldn't pick him as the favorite to have this job, but 2,200 is excellent value for this guy. The Knicks are going to take him very, 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 very seriously. If you're looking for the easiest way to get money, take Taylor Jenkins. That's my guess. My guess is it's Taylor Jenkins, Johnny Bryant, or James Borrego. I don't think Mike Brown's going to get the job, if we're being honest. I could easily see him getting it. I just have a weird intuition that he won't, even though he is sort of a Leon Rose guy, so it would make sense. But I think the Knicks will go with someone who, yes, has NBA head coaching experience, but is a bit younger. That means one of Jenkins or Borrego or Jason Kidd. And we are going to have to talk about Jason Kidd at some point because there is updates on Jason Kidd. But with all that in mind, as James Edwards mentioned, something else to continue to monitor is the Knicks' interest in Dallas Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd. While a long shot to join New York, Kidd, who is under contract for 2 more years with the Mavericks, according to league sources, have shown no interest to this point in allowing their coach to leave, still hasn't allowed an extension like other currently employed head coaches who Knicks fans and the Knicks showed interest in during the first stage of their search. Now, on top of that, Edwards also mentions there's been nothing regarding Kidd and an extension in Dallas to this point. Furthermore, Dallas did not extend the contracts of Kidd's assistant coaches after the franchise made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. Kidd is going to lose his longtime assistant Sean Sweeney to the San Antonio Spurs, according to league sources who confirmed it to The Athletic. Other top Mavericks assistants, Jared Dudley and God Shamgod, have received interest from rival ball clubs and have contracts that expire on June 30th, which is also when Sweeney's deal is up. These all factor into the Knicks Kidd chatter that won't fully go away, and in recent days, the Knicks have inquired about Sean Sweeney. He's definitely on track to become a head coach, has interviewed for multiple jobs, and if the Spurs are successful in landing him, he likely won't be there long, according to Brad Townsend, who's a beat writer for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I think two things. I think one of the reasons why the Knicks are interested in Sean Sweeney is probably some Jason Kidd angle as well. But also because they think if they could pull Sean Sweeney somehow in some capacity, that it'd be easier to get Jason Kidd. Or they just believe in Sean Sweeney, who is going to become a head coach at some point. And it does go against the fact that it feels like the Knicks are looking more at guys who would not be a first-time NBA head coach. But I also think that's a little bit overblown. I'm not saying Ian Begley's wrong. I think he's absolutely right. But at the same time, I don't think it's a lock. I definitely think it's possible that Johnny Bryant or Sean Sweeney do get the job, and even a Dave Bliss from OKC I think is possible. So we'll see how that all goes down. It's obviously not going to slow down anytime soon. But right now, if you ask me, I think the Kid likely will stay with Dallas. I think that Brown likely will not get the Knicks job, and then it will come down to Taylor Jenkins, James Borrego, and probably my final pick, if it was a top three, would be Johnny Bryant. I think he still has a better chance than a lot of people are giving him credit for right now. I know that James Dolan, at the first part of the firing of Thibodeau, did want Johnny Bryant, so that's always going to play a factor into things. But it's important to note with a guy like Taylor Jenkins, as Knicks Nation mentioned, he does make a lot of sense for this team. He's willing to trust and play a deep rotation, developed a young talent in Memphis, had 50-plus wins in back-to-back seasons, and is still just 40 years old. He's a fresh, modern approach, and I love that idea. So I would like it to be Jenkins. I'd like it to be Borrego. I'd be fine with Johnny Bryant as well. Those are my top three picks. What are your top three picks? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.